Welcome back to Watchin' Baseball. Thank you very much to the people who watch this and enjoy it. It's brought to you by the store at shop.jomboymedia.com. You can get this shirt. Want a closer look? And Jake has a shirt that you can get as well. Show him the shirt, Jake. Wow. There it is. It was behind my back. Thank you very much. We are up to the 2011 World Series. One of a really good World Series, and this is one of the better World Series games going. Game 6 of this World Series.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that argue this is one of the best baseball games of all time, so we can't even fully depict the scene, but I mean, the Rangers have a chance to win the World Series, and you'll see what happens.
Yep. All right. We're going to go right into it because there's a lot going on. And what's going on? Send over. Oh, I know what's happening. There's a lot going on. For time's sake, we're going to have to cut some good stuff out. But there's so much. Let's just go. The Rangers at this point are 2 outs away from winning the World Series.
And Pujols, who has gone hitless since that.
And closer, Feliz, has 7 for 7 in save opportunities in the postseason up to this point, Jake. 6 for 6 in this series.
Just struck out Ryan Terrio. Albert Pujols is up. Pretty good.
Into left center field, and it will scoot all the way to the wall.
You're not seeing Pujols leg out too many doubles these days.
Got to really put it in the gap. But he did.
Jake,
one of the best hitters literally ever, people.
Do you remember where we were during this game?
Let's see, 2011, October. I had graduated. Were we in Popa or were we in Polish House? I don't know.
So I know exactly where you and I were standing during these next 2 at-bats. We were dressed up as popes. It was Thirsty Thursday, and we were at Roma's Bar in New Britain because it was penny beer night. They dyed the beer. It was like a penny a beer, $1 a beer. And you and I, you know how the bar, when you walked in, like the bar straight ahead, in between the bar and the pool tables, we were watching. You were waiting online for beers. We were both waiting in line together, and I was watching the TV because I wanted to see the celebration. And when Freeze does what he's about to do, I screamed in the middle of the ball, like, "Holy shit!" And you were like, "Dude, calm down, like calm down," because no one else was watching it there.
You liked a good bar scream too.
I mean, it was amazing. This is one of the more amazing hits.
I'm saying both are true, though.
2-0. When I was that age. $1 beer nights at Roma's. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
One of the grosser bathroom scenes in a bar.
Oh, not ideal. And if you're watching, if you're wondering who that handsome Puma is at the plate, Lance Berkman doing his Cardinals days.
Big Puma. Four straight. You think the Pujols double rattled him?
I mean, you've got Alan Craig on deck and David Freese, a pair of righties, so I think he wanted nothing to do with Berkman with first base open.
It's a good call. Alan Craig, huh?
Jeez,
Don't we have
man,
some inside joke about Alan Craig in our? Didn't the fantasy baseball league we're in have an inside Alan Craig joke or something like that?
I think that's the Red Sox pitcher that was supposed to come up, isn't it? Alan Webster. That was the whole Matt Harvey thing. Alan Craig is another weird lore in Red Sox history. Guy raked with the Cardinals for a few years, went over to the Sox, and just died.
He did. His numbers with the Sox are very bad.
So bad.
He didn't play a lot of games, though. Did he get hurt, or was he just a bench player? That was bad.
I think he was even in the minors. I think they might have sent him down.
His 2 seasons with the Red Sox are wildly bad. We're talking
maybe
we're talking
they
OPS
didn't-
plus of 21.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they didn't send him down, but I know he was on their salary getting paid to not play baseball.
I mean, this is a huge pitch. A 2-0. Like, maybe you danced around Lance Berkman to get to Craig, but now you're behind 2-0 to Craig, and you've thrown 6 straight balls. If you're Craig, are you swinging out of your shoes here? Or do you understand, let this dude throw as many balls in a row as he wants?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit. Neftali's so young that I think there's a little bit like, let's see one kid.
2-1.
And there it is.
Tony La Russa back at it, baby. Alan Craig. Craig's place.
Now he's seen one. Now do you throw another fastball off your Feliz? He was trying to open him up with that little slider thing.
Young Neftali. I don't know. I think you throw another heater. So let's see you hit it, Alan Craig. So you save your slider for the wipeout pitch, but I don't know.
Very good right field hitter.
Fingers crossed. Love it.
Crossed.
Ripped foul.
Damn. That was a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and he pulled it.
That's got to be a low-key, pretty miserable feeling, right? I mean, you're on it, but you're also not.
Yeah, I think so. Go play cricket. So, at this point, I think you got to go off speed. I mean,
You're ahead of the fastball.
he's ahead of the fastball. Then you have to go something nasty.
Or you throw a junk fastball that's nowhere close because he likes the fastball.
I don't think you can risk throwing things out of the zone to this pitcher, this hitter. Like, I think now's your pitch to strike him out. I think you throw something nasty in the zone. Ooh, okay.
Greg spoiled
Fouled it off.
nasty pitch.
Trying to go to right field with 2 strikes. Fouls it away.
I throw the same thing.
First baseman
A little.
Dude, you know what else?
first base.
You know what else is terrifying? Pujols on the bases and old Lance Berkman. Like anything on the ground, you could World Series over.
That's true. Well, look at that guy. His hands are. Damn.
October 27th.
Oh.
These guys could have been at the bar with us.
Oh,
And the Rangers are 1 out away from a championship.
I actually.
sport.
Napoli sitting outside, a slider and a mistake.
I don't know what to think about all that, man. Like, I don't know if that was a good pitch. I think that was a bad pitch and bad at bat.
It was a bad pitch, good pitch. And I mean, not to go all Astros on everyone when we don't need it, but again, that's one of those things. If Alan Craig knew that was supposed to be a slider, that's in the seats.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting fastball, that pitch can mess you up because it's looking like it's coming at your hands.
Franchise that started as the Senators back in 1961. Going to Texas.
Again,
in
folks,
Do you hear
2-run
this?
lead. The Senators stuff, he's building it up.
He's building up the hole. They were the Senators in 61, and now they're going to win. They're an out away.
1 out away from their first.
So he's,
2 outs, people. Up 2 runs. Young, handsome David Freese.
It's very interesting, Jake, that you made the point of how little speed is on the base paths. Like, would a double score 2?
I mean, Berkman was never really slow. He was just hefty. But, I mean, World Series on the line, it's tough to say. It's got to be a good double.
Filming with iPhones. Probably going to be one of the first little filming with the camera shot we've seen. It's that same pitch. See, I don't remember the pitches or anything like this. I just know the result. But does he fall in love with that slider in the zone? Because it's not a good pitch.
Yeah, I mean, those... If you're... And Napoli catching is pretty interesting here, not known as a good defensive catcher. You wonder what he's thinking. Like, is Napoli loving that pitch right now or hating that pitch?
I mean, if a player sits on that
Let's
pitch,
talk
like you
about it.
said.
Have to make sure this is it.
Hey, bro, I know those sliders worked, but they don't.
Let's not fall in love with the slider in the zone.
That would, hey, if we ever catch up with Napoli, write that one down in the back of your head, because no
Double.
idea.
That guy was going double hat, beanie, and then hat on top of beanie.
2 hats.
I think Napoli was like, hey, you're throwing 97. Let's just gas him up a little. So now they're one strike
away.
Yeah. What a brutal game. I hate this game. 1 strike away. The stadium is ready to erupt in sadness. Everyone in Texas. 98.
Back at the wall. It's off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Berkman. Freeze has tied it.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean that's to save the World Series. The Nelson Cruz part is brutal. Never known for his defense, and I think they had a defensive replacement for him on the bench. And I think like Ron Washington wanted him out there to celebrate and stuff, and it's I mean it takes your soul away as a baseball fan.
So I'm dressed as a pope. Jake's dressed as a pope.
2 popes.
In the middle of the bar. 2 popes. Yeah, I mean, how many outfielders catch that ball? I don't know. I truly don't know.
80-20?
You think it gets caught?
I think so.
I think if it's caught, it's still an incredible play and like running into the wall. Because it lands right at the base.
I think normally you're right, but dude, they were playing deep anyways. Like, and Nelson Cruz was pretty far back there.
Was on his toes if that ball got away.
And now, I mean, a theme of this, Jake, has been you saying like pitchers, it's a fucked up world because you just have to stay in it. He just blew the save, but not only does he have to keep pitching, the fucking winning run is on third base.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, like bullpen not warm.
Yeah.
Like they were ready to sprint in and celebrate the World Series.
Nuts.
It's a dumb sport.
Into right field again. Cruz is there, and we are going to extra innings.
So where should I jump to now?
I've still got the Yachty frozen on my screen.
In St. Louis, rooting for the
I think we want to jump to
Nelson Cruz in right.
top of the 10th. I guess Elvis Andrus. Kinsler gets out, and then Elvis Andrus is up.
All right, we're speeding to the 10th now. There's 1 out, and the Rangers are going to take the lead again. Spoiler.
Hey, and you know what? I mean, how about a classic case of sports here? Like, yes, you blew it, but hey, you're still right there. You can make all of that go away.
Who's pitching for the Cardinals?
Jason Mott, looking really gross. Not doing anything for me.
You don't like it? The hairy look?
Not loving it. And Josh Hamilton coming up in one of his MVP-esque seasons. I forget if he won this year, but he was in it. And again, if you're one of the youngins, the story's pretty sad. But man, when he was right, not a lot of guys that have played baseball looked like him doing it.
He won MVP in 2010, so the year before.
Okay. Like, just as big of a threat can get in the sport.
Yes. He's the guy they wanted up.
Like, if Andrews doesn't get on, there's a sincere chance they just bounce 4 in the dirt and pray.
It's funny how pedestrian his home run numbers look, Josh Hamilton now, compared to the juice ball home run evolution. Boom. Dude. I mean, he fucking clobbered that. It only went a couple rows deep, but like off the swing.
Yeah, no doubt. And just like that, you're up 2 again. Ready to win the World Series.
Baseball emotions are the most fleeting, and I've been saying it for years. Insane.
In his wheelhouse.
Yeah, look, he didn't even really barrel it up. It kind of sliced a tiny bit off his barrel, but the swing was... Get out of
Just
here.
never throw low and into a lefty. It's just not how the sport works.
First home run in 82 at-bats for Josh Hamilton.
Tony's seen it.
Holy smokes, did you hear that? First home run in 82 at-bats?
It's tough.
Mitch Moreland is 0 for 1. What a time for last year's American League MVP.
They don't, let's skip.
Yeah, Jason Mott, again, my pitcher's example. He twirls his way out of the inning. Fly ball, ground out, Moreland and Beltre, couple threats.
Well, here's the fly ball. We'll just watch it.
And he finally goes deep. Moreland flies one.
And man,
That
there's
was never a threat.
There's another thing that's not fully interesting in this series, but there's a couple names.
Do you see Kinsler?
Darren Oliver.
That's funny. Kinsler was just like rubbing all over.
Give me that.
Darren Oliver.
Yeah, and that's what I was just saying. Darren Oliver is in this series, which, I have him from a different generation of baseball. Arthur Rhodes pitched for the Cardinals, who started his career on the 91 Mariners. So there's some of Jakey overlap game that it's like, what?
How old do you think Darren Oliver is here?
I don't know, 37, 38.
You saw that note, 6 career saves.
41.
Rhodes was 41. Okay, so Oliver was hanging on just as much.
Yeah. Oliver was 41. He turned 41 October 6th or whatever.
Oliver got the win. Game 5,
Libra.
3 nights ago.
Dude, 20-year career for Oliver. 0 awards. Never led the league in a single stat. But 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what stat he'd lead him in anyway. Well, he was a starter.
Yeah, he started for a long time. Early. So this is him, doing like the CC Sabathia. Just, hey, you'll let me be a lefty in the bullpen and I can keep playing baseball? I guess CC's not a great example, but...
Well, CC would have done that if he didn't have a surgery. I got you.
Oliver just turned 41.
Again. So what are Rangers fans thinking at this point?
And
Like,
man,
I
this
know
is
it's
one of those-
41-year-old Oliver, but just 3 outs.
You need 3 outs to not give up 2 runs. And you've got Descalso and John Jay coming up.
Did you hear that?
No,
You missed it.
it's true. So, I think this is tough because Washington's kind of playing the matchup. / he didn't want to put Feliz out there again. He's got some lefties. And hey, I'd rather go out with a 41-year-old guy that's seen it all than a kid.
76 mile per hour looping curve. It's I'll tell you this, Jake. It's not the arsenal you want in a pitcher.
No.
In the 10th inning of a World Series clinching game.
Let
You'd
me
much rather, I know Feliz blew it, but you'd rather the guy pumping 98 with a slider than the 75 mile per hour curveball lefty.
By the way, Darren Oliver played 2 more seasons after this. He pitched really well. He must have been a nightmare versus lefties. That's what I'm going to look up right now. Because otherwise it really is tough.
Obviously starting in this game hours
from Rio Linda, California.
22 career WAR, not bad.
Son of Bob Oliver.
I mean, man, out of the bullpen in that season, he was really good. He held lefties and righties to an OPS under 6, both sides of the plate.
That hit sucks. Little dunk.
It's a sick sport. I think we get some pitchers pinch running action coming.
How long do you think Darren Oliver's dad was in the big leagues? Bob
14
Oliver.
years.
8 years.
Okay.
Played for the Yankees. He was a first baseman, right fielder. So they're bringing in a hitter to bunt, right? A pitcher to
They're
bunt.
bringing in a pitcher, Edwin Jackson, I believe.
But because it's easier for a left-hander to make that play at third base, I think you leave Oliver in the game.
So
Do that with Maddox out there.
Edwin Jackson pinch hits for Jason Mott.
So you leave the left-hander. Now
And then-
Jackson's coming back.
Tim McCarver's talking all about this right now, but for anyone that's not deep into a brand new casual baseball fan, like, this is really fun strategy. Like, hey, we know they're bringing in a dude to bunt. What pitcher do we want to field the bunt? Because you want to try and get the play at third. So a lefty actually can make that play at third base easier. So they're leaving Oliver in.
Yeah, and Jim, again, McCarver might have been explaining this because technically Edwin Jackson entered the game for Jason Mott, and then Kyle Loesch pinch hit for Edwin Jackson. So I don't know if that was just another mess of sorts or what.
Well, I think... Oh, that's awesome. So I think the strategy there is they send Edwin Jackson up to bunt, and then once they realize that they're not going to change the pitcher, then they're like, well, let's send up an actual hitter in case there's 2 strikes and he needs to take a hack.
I mean, Loescher's a pitcher,
Oh,
too.
Loesch's a pitcher too. So what's the strategy there? Edwin Jackson was like...
I don't know. I think that's what McCarver was explaining, but I don't know.
Oh.
Or it's an error.
Edwin Jackson was up with the bat in his hand. Maybe he was like, Coach, I don't want to do this.
Coach, not feeling it.
I'm out. There's probably a reason
Do
that we
not
missed.
have
A
it.
slider
Our bad.
inside. And they had the wheel play on where Beltre charges and Andrus goes to third. We'll see if they do it again.
This one is in the air. It gets over the head of Beltre. And
Nice play by Beltre to get something
as the
there.
bad bunt by
Yeah.
Loesch works out, as he
Kind of
gets
a
it
lucky
over the
bunt,
head
but
of Beltre.
worked.
Dude, right now we have a flare, a drop shot, and then a bunt that's so bad it was good. It's a weird sport, man. It's a weird sport.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, when we were in the 70s and 80s, and it's clearly a different sort of bunting, but hey, we're looking at giant moments in World Series games, and it's still there.
Well, the sack bunt still has a big place in baseball, in my opinion. It was they were
Right,
just,
and that's
they're-
where a lot of people would still argue with you.
Yeah, I still think like right there, that's a great move.
We'll see if it's Feldman
I mean, who was coming up anyway?
come into this
It was the pitching spot. So in the National League, that is what you got to do. But
goes 90 feet to get the out.
Would have been nuts if like that was closer to Beltre and he could have made a flying diving catch or something like that.
doubled him up somewhere.
As Andrus
That's the
recovers
third
and makes
baseman
the
dream.
play.
been so
Oliver's coming out.
Feldman coming in.
Not
What a night
Feldman,
of
man.
baseball here in
Tricky spot to come in.
Tough spot to come in.
Had he pitched in this series already?
Let's see what I can do on Feldman.
This postseason, what did it say? 1-0. This postseason, 12 and a third innings, 11 Ks. That's pretty good.
Had an okay 2011. Talk about a guy that had was around a while with Nothing flashy on the stat pad.
It's been 87 games since Terrio's last home run, but he's thinking, get a hit.
He
had to be
he had
injured.
been good in this playoffs.
Terrio up and Albert Pujols lurking.
He had to be injured. This is 2011, right?
Yeah. 3-inning shutout in the ALDS, 5.2 shutout in the CS.
Yeah, it looks like he got injured in July, and then, or I don't know what happened. He pitched very sparingly.
Good breaking ball from
And it's important to know Terrio is up with Albert Pujols on deck again, so you have to deal with him.
Good chanting. Open him up slow off speed. Goes straight back to it. Back-to-back 70-plus mile per hour
knee surgery
curves.
at the end of the World Series last year. Was not on the playoff roster for the Rangers. 17-game winner in 09.
Good LSU boy, Jim. Terrio.
Terrier. Ooh.
Still nothing in 2.
I mean, Feldman's come in looking good right now. He's throwing, like that was 93 low in the zone. Good 0-2 pitch, I think.
I feel like the mentality has to be kind of that. Like, if I have any chance to do this, I gotta get Terrio. So I'm just gonna pump it. Because if I can't get him, I'm not getting Albert and Burke.
Since the start of the LCS, takes a ball
Yeah.
outside.
I like that pitch too, but it's a good take.
2 out of
I mean, you
Yeah.
got a lot of chances now to
end of the series against
make
the
him
Phillies.
fuck up on his own with him down 0-2.
Terrio.
I wouldn't put this pitch near as bad either. Or like in the zone.
Left side. Coming to the plate, Descalso out at first is Terrio.
Ugh.
It's a 9-8 game.
I mean, you're 1 out away from winning the World Series again.
Yep.
That run didn't matter. The other run didn't advance. So I think you take that, like beforehand, if you were to like, hey, how about this? Both teams would take that.
Yeah. You'd shake hands.
Yeah, you'd be like,
Mutually
okay, cool.
Agree destruction. Yeah.
Very hot. Lance Berkman, he has been the Cardinals' best hitter.
Absolutely have to walk Pujols.
World Series.
Does suck that Berkman's up next.
Yeah, you can't pitch to
This will
Pujols.
take
I
the bat
mean,
out of Pujols' hands, but
yeah, I was going to
understand
get
the decision.
hot takey and say, do you walk Berkman to bring up Alan
Berkman
Craig?
batting in the number 4 spot
But
tonight
then
behind Albert
You
Pujols.
bring the runner to third, so you can't really do that.
Alan Craig also homered in this game.
Yeah,
Texas native.
I think it's a little bit knowing what's coming up, but
The one Ranger pitch around, something like that.
Lance Berkman, man, another guy that maybe slightly ahead of his time because he's got some OBP and OPS numbers that are pretty nuts. He's
Do you
got a
know who else
career
pitching this game? Octavio Dotel.
Yep.
I mean, he's another guy just...
4.06 on base. Career from Lance Berkman.
The longevity, the players with staying power, like we did that 2002 Angels series, and there were a lot of really, really good players, but none with stretched out careers, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we have guys here like Oliver, Dotel. Who else would be in that category?
I mean, Berkman.
Derek Collins
Pujols
still
now
around.
count.
What's that?
Berkman and Pujols would count.
Lance Lynn still doing the thing.
Nelson Cruz.
Matt Holliday.
Yeah.
It's a scary swing. Skip Shoemaker. Edwin Jackson.
The trail runner is Pujols,
Skip Shoemaker was always like the top 5 guys in the fantasy baseball free agent pool.
Isn't Edwin Jackson about to beat Octavio Dotel for most
I think
teams?
he already beat it.
Did he beat it last year?
Yeah, I think so.
It's funny that they were both in this series on the same team.
And John Jay can walk home. That's right.
No.
The best arms are in center with Hamilton
Yeah. I
and
don't
in
know.
right with
I
Cruz.
think so.
But they're so deep.
They're too deep for their arms to do any good.
Octavio Dotel is a great reliever, man.
Strike 2 on Berkman and again.
Okay, so they are again 1 strike away from winning the World Series. This is sick. This is gross. I'm sorry, Rangers fans. I mean, no way you're watching this.
Not watching.
Octavio Dotel. Sounds like an old Roman name.
So dumb.
Inside ball 2.
I wanted there to be like a highly debated like call. You know, like if that was like an inch to the right, and it'd be like if they rung him up there, but that was a ball. One strike away.
Tying run at second base.
Breathe.
In the air to right center. This game is tied. Going to third is Pujols, and it's 9-9.
If they pinch run for Pujols, is the game over?
It's just nightmare fuel. You can't. You just-
I know you can't, but doesn't matter anyway. Yachty not celebrating yet. Hold on, probably celebrating. Super early. Jesus Christ, man. Well, Pujols broke it down pretty early. Insane. All
They
right.
just won't go away.
Is your heart breaking for Rangers fans?
I mean, a little bit. It's honestly not breaking too much for the fans, which is odd. But it's the players, man. I mean,
Craig could end the night.
God, if Lance Berkman hits that more on a line, but it's right at the right fielder, you won the World Series.
That's not an
Oh,
insignificant
defensive indifference.
because a ball up the middle that takes
Love
that
that.
force play away from the Rangers. Winning run at
Again,
third.
Scott Feldman's still there doing the damn
Two
thing.
out.
Alan Craig. Be a hero.
Left side. Beltre gathers it, throws it. And we're going to the 11th.
All right, so Jake Westbrook
To give
holds them at bay
the Cardinals tie it.
in the top of the 11th.
Guys by Terrio and Berkman
And then
back in home run.
up steps David Freese in the bottom of the 11th. Still a tie game.
Bill Buckner. Kirby Puckett with a catch.
And this is where things get disgusting because Mark Lowe
And later a home run.
comes into the game because of a double switch. Esteban Herman pinch hit for the pitcher. He goes into left field. David Murphy's coming to right. Nelson Cruz is removed from the game for the pitcher, Mark Lowe.
I mean, we've seen bad defense
So yeah, now
early. We've
okay,
seen
now I'm sick for the fans because
three
I'm
big
saying
home runs hit by
why
the
weren't
Rangers
Herman
here
and
late.
Murphy out there earlier? But tough
Now
game to play.
Nelson Cruz was slow to get to the plate.
Cruz is hurt. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Sad.
Just that little montage they did of big Game 6 moments. Kind of cool because we've watched them all while doing this series. And also we've
Six is
learned
a
that
big one.
you win a big Game 6, you go on to win Game 7 a lot of times.
This is
Boy,
already
does
a
this guy
classic.
have the Scumby closer look down.
Low into the game. Ball one up and in. But David Freese, who with 2 outs and 2 strikes, tied this game in the 9th with a 2-run triple into right.
1-0. Uh-oh, Jake.
It's Freeze now, then Yadier Molina, then Descalso.
2-0. Does Freeze swing huge here? I'll allow Freeze to take a big ol' hack here.
See, I'm Scumby out of the pin. I don't know. I'd still like to see the first strike, but
that was so. He was very scared of the big swing because he went off speed high, like to try and just drop it in there, and it didn't even break down.
And it looked kind of close, right? Are you wanting that call?
No, because it broke down, so you got to think it was higher than where. That's a classic 3-0 call.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I like the 2-0 pitch better as a strike than that one, I think. But
I agree with you there, but it's 3-0. I've been doing that since forever.
And I think this was from the
now he's got to be swinging out of his shoes, right?
Sure.
I don't know, because you do have Yachty and you are leading off, so like getting on base is just as good, you know. But 3-1, dude can't find the zone.
Hit a homer.
I like that swing.
Hit a homer.
And I think it'll come back into play a little.
And yeah, I think it said that Berkman's hit and David Freeze's hit were the third and fourth ever 2-strike hits stopping a game from elimination or something ridiculous like that in MLB history.
Freeze hits it in the air to center. We will see you tomorrow night.
Insane, dude. That is an absolutely crazy game. So basically, no, the stat you were just saying that you heard, no team has ever been that close to winning. Lance Berkman hit the ump there and had to apologize. Like the Rangers have the record for being 1 strike away from the World Series and not getting it so many times, some way.
Pretty much.
Bummer for the Rangers.
This is
Well, let me pause this.
This is like make a baby night in St. Louis. Like normally I find that stuff kind of corny. I think you see that happen and it's like it's time.
Welcome to the Chevrolet World Series.
Probably so gassed if you're a fan watching that. Like imagine how mentally drained you have to be.
You get that adrenaline once you win.
The Texas Rangers.
All right, so what do we? This is Game 7. In Game 7, both teams scored 2 runs in the first, but then the Cardinals shut the Rangers down the rest of the way, and they added runs. Carpenter pitched, then Rhodes, Dotel, Lance Lynn, Mott.
David Freeze with the big 2 RBI double.
Made a lot of money off this series.
Alan Craig with a homer.
Let's see. I'm going to skip up a little bit. So we got 1 out now. This comes a ground out. I just want to see a celebration. Here's a ground out. And then we'll watch the last one.
This postseason. Left side for Descalso. Just into the game. 2 out.
All right. And just what a brutal turn of events for the Rangers.
Yeah, and I mean, it goes Renteria from the last World Series. It's just kind of how names get remembered, and I mean, like we said, Nelson Cruz is kind of underrated, and you know he's squeezing a fly ball away from not being it. I don't know.
5 games to go. That's at the wild card spot.
I'm starving, dude.
This team crashed the postseason party, and they're 1 out away. And now 2 strikes away.
Ooh. Do you know who the scouting director was for the... I'm not going to say it. It's a very immature joke.
It'll shock you, but don't.
His name is Kip Fagg. F-A-G-G. And they've won it. Oh, that was awesome.
Coming in hot.
Yachty came in so hot. He was like pausing like, yeah, baby, baby. And Yachty just bam. If they have a slow-mo of that Yachty sprint and jump, he may have hurt him.
Collision.
He may have hurt him.
Yeah.
Everybody loves somebody.
How about Rafael Furcal out there, kids? I like that. Nick Punto, a friend of the family, was on this Cardinals team. Carpenter. Jaime Garcia.
Insane.
Lance Lynn.
Celebrate mess is Ken Rosenthal. Ken.
Thanks, Joe.
What up, Ken?
What was going through your mind in the ninth inning, and what was going through your mind when the ball was in the air?
I was just hoping Mike could finish it right there. When the ball was up, I was just like, just catch it. And it's over, and we got it. It was unbelievable.
You did so many things in this series. The hits off a gun, the home runs in games 3, 6, and 7. What are you going to remember most?
The whole thing, the whole experience, my teammates. Just an unbelievable group of guys. I mean, I wish everybody in the country could get to know these guys. It's unbelievable.
That was cool. Him and Jay just running in, looking at each other.
The home run and the catch. Which did you like better?
It's all good. I don't care. Home run was nice. Catch was better. I've never done that before.
Alan Craig, his first 3 basically full seasons. 312, 364, 863 OPS. And that was about it, man. What a sick sport.
Looks like they have the slow-mos. I want to see him. We'll end it.
In response to Alan Craig's comment about this country getting to know these guys, this country has gotten to know these guys.
I'm hoping he says, come on, baby. Like, come on, get in here. Oh, here we go. That's awesome. That's one of the better ones.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, don't do it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, so sad. The fuck? Let's see if they show them running in just screaming at each other. It's a good shot.
Good. Dirty Daniel Descalso.
There you go. One of the
Brutal.
best games of baseball you'll see. Game 6, and then the final out of Game 7. That was a fun one. Rangers lose the World Series twice in a row. They still haven't been back to the World Series, so that's tough. Blue Jays beat them twice, right? Like later on in the ALCS or ALDS, whatever it was. I forget.
Sorry, Rangers fans. That's that would be tough. That would be tough.
1 strike away 2 times.
Twice. I mean, hit a line drive as hard as you can back at the pitcher. Snares it. Done. There's so many ways you could get out in this sport.
Crazy. All right. Thank you guys very much for watching. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with the 2012 World Series. Adios.